Hello, everyone. This is Stacey Cohen, licensed professional counselor at the Center for Soulful Presence. And today we're going to do the Empath University Presents What is Alive for You. And we are presenting and highlighting Michelle Shlafman. And she is awesome. She is another licensed professional counselor, and she does spiritual work as well and energy psychology. And I just think she's the bee's knees. And I think you're going to as well. We're just going to freestyle it today and just have a conversation and see what transpires. So with that, I'm going to give you Michelle. And if you wouldn't mind, Michelle, if you have an introduction about yourself, a little bit about the work that you do, and we'll dive in.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here. It's nice to be present for this flowing conversation wherever it leads. My name is Michelle Shlafman, and I've been in holistic psychotherapy practice now for several years, about 3 years. I've worked in the field overall for close to 9 years now, and dealing with mental health populations that are at risk and those that have gone through lots of trauma. And my favorite thing, my passion, what I specialize in is holistic forms of psychotherapy. So anything in relation to energy work, dealing with parts, so a lot of internal family systems, that's really kind of separating your mind out and having certain parts equal certain things. Right now, I'm also studying different forms of naturopathy to add to my practice to make sure I can understand the body and how it affects the mind, body, and spirit all together. And I love working with young adult females who have had relationship trauma or have a difficult time finding themselves and helping themselves find themselves again through different experiential modalities. It's a joy to be a part of. And that's kind of what my private practice is geared towards as of now. Who knows what will take me in the long run, but that's kind of anxiety, trauma, and self-esteem, rejuvenation of those areas.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I believe I had met you at a continuing education workshop.
Yes.
And you said something super woo-woo. And I was like, I must speak with you. And I beelined to you. And I was like, hey, you want to talk? Yeah. And we've kept in touch. What's that?
It's the language. It's funny. It's like, I think a lot of therapy modalities are based in like strictly cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT, which is great in itself. But the woo-woo, energetic forms of therapy are definitely they come on their own, they're an entirely different form of their own and combined in therapy practice. Like all of us practitioners that speak the language, we know the relations. We know when there's somebody in that room that practices the same form of therapy.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I actually was on a thing on Facebook, like a therapist network. Oh, you were on that one. I'm going to say this in a very diplomatic way. So I guess I was just speaking to utilizing different types of tools, experiential tools, archetypal tools, which like tarot, and that it was a strand that was very controversial in the therapeutic community, and
yes, it was.
Yeah, and so my main point was just that there just isn't enough research.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that experiential therapies, or things that are a little bit more esoteric in nature, that they're not effective. It's just a matter of the fact that there hasn't been monies put towards it for research. So hoping for that to change.
Yes, I am as well. I know the Association of Comprehensive Energy Psychology are doing a lot of research as far as understanding how energy psychology helps and is an evidence-based practice so that it can be more welcomed.
Right.
But I'm right there with you. I think that those experiential modalities are so helpful, depending upon, of course, what the client's belief system is and whatnot.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, they're a wonderful tool to be able to put into practice.
Yeah. I utilize emotional freedom technique, EFT, or some people call it tapping. And I mean, when a person that I'm working with, they experience it for the first time, and you can see they're like, I really feel better. I feel lighter. I feel more clear, whatever. But then you see the brain trying to catch up, going, wait a minute, that was weird. I'm tapping on my body. Like, how the hell does that do anything? You
Yeah.
know, and so sometimes it's like the brain has to catch up to what's actually happening.
Yeah, I think so too. Same thing happens to me when I use clients. They really like, it's quite beautiful because most of the time they're just introduced to it and they don't really know what it's going to do. And then all of a sudden, with at least probably 75% of the clients that I do it with or that have experienced it, just it's like a floodgate opens up and just tears come out, but releasing tears, of like its emotions been trapped in this place for so long, and now I can let it go.
Like literally moving it, feeling it to heal it is what I tell people.
Yes,
right? It's
absolutely.
just like it was trapped. And as I'm sure you know, like how trauma leaves the body last. And a lot of times people do like the talking therapy and the trauma work, the last part is like allowing it to leave the cells, which is why I love energy psychology so much, because it deals with the body as well.
It does. And I've had several clients say that some of them have been re-traumatized because they've had to discuss their trauma each and every time. And the great thing with energy psychology is that you don't have to, you can give a topic where you can keep it in your mind with tapping or comprehensive energy psychology, but you don't have to speak it if you don't want to. And I think that gives clients space to move in their own direction without having to verbalize and continuously go through the reliving of that trauma over and over and over again.
Yeah, let's actually heal. Let's actually get better.
Yeah. Let's have
What
it
a concept.
So if you choose not to see me, you can go and you can live your own life in your own terms.
What? Heal what? Yeah. We're not doing the revolving door here, people.
No. And I think that that's a really important concept to chat about as therapists too, because there are some therapists that want the clients to continue to come back over years and years and years. And I welcome that if that's needed. But, I think at least one of my goals is to make sure that they have all the tools that they need to be able to live on their own.
It's kind of ethical.
Kind of ethical. Just a teeny bit.
That's funny. Yeah. So I feel comforted knowing that you're doing this work. I have for many years felt a little isolated, really, and felt like I had to kind of hide my woo-woo in the community, in the therapeutic community, and so when I see other people who are also, naturally gravitating towards this type of work, I feel comforted. I feel like there's an alliance. We're a united front coming through, and really for what's happening now, people are needing more.
Yes, they are. I've always been attracted to the energetic community, but I think I got really lucky because I found a private practice to enter into it's called Perspective Center for Holistic Therapy. So where I started was this energetic space. But I understand exactly what you're saying, where often, especially underneath our board and whatnot, there are many rules and laws and regulations to abide by, in which we do. And at the same time, I think we do have a specialty in being able to use energetic principles and healing, and the amount of time that it takes to heal is so decreased compared to what it would take to heal sometimes for the more traditional forms of therapy. And it's kind of just a fact, at least from my perspective, I suppose.
So let me ask you this. What is alive for you right now?
Hmm.
And it could be like in your life or with your practice or, just what is on the forefront? What is sparking you right now?
That is a beautiful question. And I, what I have noticed lately is that, especially during the past 3 months, there's been such an open space of suffering that is obvious to everyone. Everyone is experiencing, or most everyone is experiencing a form of suffering at this point. And I think whether it's mental suffering or physical suffering, body pain, um, that suffering is a part of life. And so I have almost this hyper awareness right now of all of the suffering I've experienced, even physically right now, and that people are experiencing, and the beauty that comes with that suffering. Because there's so much room to learn when we're experiencing a form of pain. And I would say that's what's alive for me right now, that awareness of life doesn't always have to be jolly, and if we
Mm,
are suffering or if we are in physical or mental pain, life can still have moments of happiness. It's just there's a balance to formulate in order to kind of ease into that space of, okay, I'm feeling pain and I still can smile, and I'm feeling pain and I can still live my life. And so there's this very delicate balance that exists with all those things. But
mhm. Well, it
yeah,
sounds like that you're also balancing, what is real for you, what's really happening. So you're not denying your pain, and at the same time, it sounds like you can empower yourself with some choices,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Choices are very important right now for everyone, like really important right now to make sure we know how to get through our day and that we still have choices and decisions despite everything happening.
Yeah, yeah. And
Mhm.
I wonder, just from what you're sharing, I think about one of the things that I share with people is like, I say, pain is inevitable, suffering is a choice.
Mhm.
So I like sharing the varied perspectives, but I think we're still saying the same thing.
Yeah, and I like that phrase. I think that that speaks volumes in the way we're choosing to handle something. And um, I suppose suffering kind of has that connotation of, oh, I'm here in this space. Pain's more, this exists, and yet this is the space I'm in, and I can still make choices. Yeah, that's a very beautiful quote. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my hope is with the Empath University that this is really about an exchange. Like
Yes.
every single practitioner that I've done this with, I've I've gained really some beautiful nuggets of wisdom. So,
Yeah, I bet you have. I bet it's fun too to be able to kind of see what's on others' minds and to explore that.
well, and again, like I was sharing about some of my isolation as a practitioner, I think part of creating a place for empaths is to identify other empaths and highly sensitive people and what we do, all the things and all the different ways that we can utilize our gifts. And
Mhm.
so you obviously have a talent for holistic healing and you've been attracted to it, and so you spent your resources, time, energy acquiring those skills and the wisdom, and now because you have that deep well of empathy, I would imagine that you're feeling more empowered because
Yeah,
you have tools and you're saying, hey, I feel deeply for the world. I feel the world suffering. So I'm going to share.
absolutely. Yeah, I think so too. And, despite, and I'm sure you can relate to this, but despite how many tools we have as therapists, it's like right now in the world, we will still feel so deeply.
Yes,
We will still ache, and we will still
yes,
hurt, and we will still
yes.
feel very challenging emotions that arise for us. Um, But I think that it's a beautiful thing being able to share the tools that we do have with others to help support them, especially empaths at this time, because I know that, oh man,
we're feeling the collective extra.
so much, so much.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Some
comes in
days more than most.
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
what I'm curious, what do you feel about, what is your attitude about pain? Because I know that sometimes I'll share like, oh, I'm learning how to lean into the pain, and also what does it mean? What is it for? Because an empath can just totally just take it on, be like, oh, or they'll actually think it's them.
Yes.
And so, like, what are some of the things that you share about pain? Like,
Yeah.
what it's for? What does it do? What does pain do?
For me, I think that accepting it while it's there is an interesting place to arrive at, because the first question is this mine or is this somebody else's? That's what I typically ask.
Mm-hmm.
And then going down the rabbit hole of how to be able to identify, is this mine or is this somebody else's? If it's somebody else's pain, I handle that by doing some energy clearing techniques and working through that in a way that's different than how I would handle my own pain. If it's my own pain, there's more so a befriending it so that it doesn't take over me. Typically I will talk to it and be very gentle with it, like it's a child. And I'll ask the meaning. I'll ask, kind of identify what emotion goes with this. Louise Hay's fantastic for doing that. All of her books. But really being able to, as you said, lean into it and be kind to it. And with that kind of gentle approach, I find that it's a lot easier to handle and to experience, because when we're angry at our own pain, it's angrier at us.
You shouldn't be here. Well, it exists. It's there. But I just feel like we live or have lived in a culture and a society. A lot of us have been programmed to I don't know, like avoid pain. There's a lot of things that we've done to avoid pain. So, how do you introduce people to pain as something to befriend? Because that's I mean, I get it, and I'm trying to remember before I did, and there was a time I felt victim-y, like life is happening to me.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think pain generates the feeling of this feels unfair, or why me, or I shouldn't have to experience this. And I also think pain teaches people so many different lessons, of patience, of understanding, of being able to build up strength even when they feel they can't do something, or if they can't do something, to rest and recuperate. Pain's such a message in so many ways. So I think that really to understand it and really to be present with it without being so angry at it is a supportive factor in managing it.
Yes. I think about processing doing my own work, and one of the things that I experience is what you so eloquently described was the ingredients for self-compassion.
Yes. Yes.
Like if I can have self-compassion for myself, be like, oh baby, it's my baby heart. My baby heart is sensitive about these things right now, even though I feel like a 5-year-old right now, which is that IFS, that internal family system. Yeah, my 5-year-old's like, oh yes, I know, baby, I know. And talking to myself that way,
yes.
like a loving parent to that child. And then of course, if I see someone else acting out like a 5-year-old, like we all do, age group, right? Then I may have a little bit more patience with them. Yeah. Maybe. I'm working on that. And I have lots of practice, because people are acting out right now more than I remember.
Yes, they are.
And that it's not a judgment, it's an observation, because everybody's like, I don't like what's going on.
Right. And
You
you
know?
know, it's showing in our world that people are kind of tuning into that rebellious nature right now, or that self-defense, and it's just all over the place.
So I wanna offer as an empath, because I can understand what that feels like, and practicing leaning into that uncomfortability. Then if I'm uncomfortable around someone else, I can then send them some compassion. Even if I don't have the words, I can, inside my heart, I can say, you know, I'm blessing you with a whole bunch of people feeling really heard. You know, if someone's like, you don't hear me and this is unfair, and I wish you the best. I want you to feel so heard and understood.
I love that. Yeah, I love that you just share that. Heart-centered or heart-focused thinking without even expressing words, just really feeling it from your heart.
And isn't that like empaths? We're feelers, and that's a strength that we have.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what attracted me to you that day. I mean, we weren't even like sitting together, but I think your heart was like, you know. I was like, I need to talk to this lovely lady.
Same way. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing for me. And you can, I think, when you practice living through your heart and self-compassion and allowing your energy to expand, allowing your aura to grow, that you do bring in people that are similar to you, and you do bring in kind of that community if you just allow yourself to feel a little bit expansive and to feel vulnerable in that expansion too.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I share with my empath students, like, I'm like, well, if you can feel so much coming in, then you can feel so much, you actually have the ability to push out. So, I have an idea. Would you be open to, like with me, that we can like send out an intention out into the audience? Would you be open to that? And my hope would be that people would receive it. So I think we lost your audio for a second.
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah. So what would be an intention that you'd want us to send out to everyone?
To bring gentle energy into their heart, and to bring love and kindness into their world, into their little boy or their little girl that exists within them.
Yes. So that it gets to permeate out. All right. Well, let's do that together. I'm just gonna put it out just like this. I felt that. Did you feel that? That was really cool.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Just floating energy, floating, like for me, it was a floating pink warmth, light warmth.
I felt like you were cleansing the ethereal. It was great. I was like, she's wiping it down. Yes. Clear the field. So cool.
Love it.
Oh, Michelle, you are dear. I hope to continue to stay connected to you, and I look forward to witnessing your continued growth and expansion with your practice, and there's any way that I can be of support for you in that, I would be honored.
Thank you so much, Stacey. This was a joy. I hope to do it again soon. If you ever would like my return,
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
so happy to join.
Absolutely. There'll be more, lots of things. And really, I want to, once we're all like able to socially connect again without the risk of things, maybe we can collaborate and do some retreats and do some collaborative work. So
that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, we're collaborating now, so it was what I had anticipated, which is awesome and flowy.
Yes, we love the flowing energy.
We love the flowing energy. That's what it's about. Yeah, like feeling uplifted and connected.
Raising the vibration.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Cool. So for now, I think that's a wrap. I just wanted to share that I'm the sole proprietor of the Center for Soulful Presence, and I do telehealth, psychotherapy, and spiritual life coaching. And feel free to contact me. And actually, both of us, I'll have all the information at the bottom of the video on YouTube. So, all right. So wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice to be with you.
It is an honor. Yes.
Yes, it was an honor as well.
Thank you. All right. Well, let's just keep on keeping on. All right. Until next time.